Welcome back to Super Mario Galaxy. Last time I completed Multi-Molten Galaxy. This time I'll be moving on to the last two galaxies in this dome. I was planning on saving Matter Splatter Galaxy for later, but I decided that the next episode will be long as is, so I don't really want to just throw Matter Splatter Galaxy in there in the front and just kind of make it a little bit weird. But anyway, let's start off with Dreadnought Galaxy, because Dreadnought Galaxy is the thing I'm going to be starting off with. Very awkward introduction there. I just didn't really have a good reason. It's just the last 3-star galaxy that we have to do, or that I have to do, my bad. So let's start off with the first mission, Infiltrating the Dreadnought. I was planning on replaying this galaxy to get a better understanding of the level itself, but in the end, I did not do that for one reason and one reason only. There was a speedrun comment, so it's a Daredevil comment that, not Daredevil. Daredevil is a completely different type of, prankster comment. Prankster comment is the word I was looking for. There was a prankster comment there, and it was a speedrun comment. I can't believe I just did that. Pretty much, I just couldn't play any of the levels that I wanted to try out, but it did give me a brief understanding of one of the levels. These are little lasers that if you step into, you will get electrocuted by. This guy I've already seen. I'll put his bio on screen, I think, because I don't think I've done that before. So the Dreadnought is actually relatively interesting in my opinion. Pretty much, it's like this big fortress that Bowser created for some reason. And we have to go infiltrate it and destroy the special enemy that lives here. I've already seen it, so I'm not going to keep it a secret. There are Topmen here, and they do some pretty interesting things with them. And their AI. Something you're really gonna have to get used to is manipulating enemies' AI, especially in this dome. So if you are planning on playing the garden, you will have to understand the AI of the enemies just a little bit and how they move. So it's a pretty interesting concept, and they do it a lot in this dome. So the Dreadnought is pretty much this big mechanical fortress. I already said the fortress part, but I refrained to mention mechanical. So there's a lot of moving parts that make platforming challenges pretty interesting. For example, right there, these are moving platforms that I had to wall jump on. It's not really hard by any means, you just have to time it correctly, but it is interesting. This right here, if you spin on this arrow, it will actually change the gravity, which is pretty dang cool. So those little machines that were pushing up and weren't necessarily the biggest threats now actually will help us in moving up and continuing on the level. Pretty interesting. I think that there's something interesting over here that I can do. Okay, my bad. Let me see. I think I can. There we go. Come on, okay, thank you. Huh. I don't think there is anything. Which kind of sucks, but whatever. It's kind of weird how they actually did change the camera there. And maybe it's because they didn't anticipate anyone going back, but huh. So this area right here, you have to be pretty careful, because if you do jump at the wrong time, then you may get crushed. I almost got crushed there. I was a little bit scared. I can't get this just right. Okay, I was gonna try to wall jump off it, but it did not work out. Alright, so I'm back at the same section, and there's something I'd like to talk about. That being that... Okay, so all I had to do was ground pound. I'm just dumb then. There are quite a few things I actually did want to talk about in this episode, because Dreadnought Galaxy is a galaxy I don't really go back to, because visually it's pretty boring, so it's not very memorable. In all honesty, it mixes together with a lot of different galaxies. So that's why I was kind of avoiding it, or not avoiding it. Oh, I would say I was actually kind of avoiding it till last. But I came up with a few topics to talk about, but before that, these are Topmen. I believe I've already seen these guys, the ones that bounce you up at least. These guys, if you spin into them or jump onto their head, let me spin into them real quick. Well, I killed it, my bad. If you actually do spin into them or jump on top of them, you will be able to reach higher heights. This is only with the green Topmen because they have springs in their heads apparently. So if you see red Topmen, they have spikes on their heads. Don't mess with them because they won't allow you to jump higher. No matter what you do, they will just attack you. They're also a bit more aggressive, but I'll get into their AI a little bit later when it becomes a bit more relevant. I could get that one up if I took those bombs, but I am not in the mood. I honestly don't need a one up, so. This area right here seems a bit weird with these little lines sticking out, I guess I should say. They look like wires that would hold up the platform, but they don't have any, they're not attached to anything, so it doesn't really make sense. Later on, they actually do become attached to like star bits, and there's star bits at the end, and that's interesting. Visually that is, but I don't know why it just doesn't have star bits there. It's kind of weird and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I'm nitpicking. I'm not gonna do that anymore. Something I've neglected to talk about because I really don't feel that I have the highest moral standing to be talking about this when it comes to YouTube. Because I do make Let's Play videos, which isn't the most interesting concept in the entire world. It's not really new. It's not really all that interesting, all things considered, but I don't like clickbait or low effort reaction videos because they're just an easy way to pretty much get views, and it's kind of annoying. I don't know why I wanted to talk about this. It was just kind of on my mind, so I was thinking about it, and I've put my opinion out there already, but I just wanted to kind of explain it a little bit better. I see a lot of channels that grow really, really quickly because they do reaction videos of like new topics, and I just feel that that takes little to no effort. And there's a reason I actually do not play games when they're new. It's because I don't think that I would be able to, first, I don't think I'd be able to accurately represent everything the game has to offer because I wouldn't necessarily know everything about the game. What was that? Okay, that was completely my bad, but I got kind of stuck in there for a minute. Not only that, but are you kidding me? Really? Okay. What I'm trying to say is I really don't want someone to subscribe to me because I am playing a new game that they want to see and haven't necessarily bought yet. That's something that I've always considered when I thought about what games to play. I'm like, I don't really want people to subscribe to me specifically because I'm playing a game that's new and they want to see, but they haven't or they don't have the money to buy. And I know it's a smart way to get subscribers. It really is, but that's not what I want to do. I want to play games I really enjoy, and who knows if I'm gonna really enjoy a new game. It really depends. But anyway, that's why I don't really deal with all the trends and all that jazz. It's just not what I'm interested in. I completely talked with that last section. My apologies. It was pretty self-explanatory. Get a bullet bill, make the area flood up with water, and you should be good getting to the star. Anyway, let's play the second mission, Dreadnought's Colossal Cannons. This is actually a really interesting mission. It's one I'm really fond of because it is a little bit difficult and it deals with a lot of gravity things. Something I was kind of sad about when I went back to play this game is how little they actually do use a lot of the gravity mechanics. But this level is a perfect example of how they use the gravity mechanic. Anyway, this is a screw. It's pretty much like the 2D Mario games where if you jump on it, it starts spinning and it starts moving forward. So it's really not all that difficult. Pretty much all you have to do is stand on this side and then just make sure you don't fall off. Alright, here's an interesting concept. These are chain jumps. They are slowly rolling down the hill. I'm gonna get hit there if I don't continue to move. Okay, well, sucks to suck. The point is, we have to get all of these turned on. Sadly, again, there are chain chomps that are rolling down the hill, so we have to be careful, we have to avoid them. It's really not all that difficult. I find it kind of fun. It's a really nice challenge. You have to time everything pretty well. It's pretty interesting. So we saw the screw in a, I guess, I don't know, is this a screw? No, it's not a screw. It's like, it's a, oh shoot. I am not a building person. I almost said build-a-bear person. I don't know what I'm talking about. The point is, I don't build things. I don't know what this is. It's a nut. It's a nut, I think. The point is, right here, we are above a bottomless pit, so we actually do have to be a lot more careful. That was close. Before, we were pretty safe, but in that section, since the screw had already been shown off, and you should have already figured out how to use the screw at that point, goodbye. Since you should have already figured out how to use the screw at that point, they actually did throw it in there and expect you to use it correctly. That's nothing special, but I just thought I might as well talk about it. This right here is a moving platform. We've already seen something like this back in, oh god, I don't even remember what the galaxy is called. Pretty much we were on a moving platform that we could walk under, and we had to avoid these cannonballs. Now we can't walk under the platform, and it's smaller, meaning it's a lot harder to avoid these cannonballs. These cannonballs have always weirded me out because the visual, like, they just look visually odd. Anyway, as you can see, every single platform has its own gravity. So, you will be switching between different platforms in this mission. I think that's a pretty neat idea, and switching between gravity, it's just, I don't know. I find it fun. I think it's used in an interesting way in this mission. So, that's just my opinion. This right here, is there anything above the thwomp? There's a 1-up. I really don't need it, and I don't want to miss this this train I gotta catch right here. It's not a train, but I was trying to make it an interesting comment. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's really not that late, but it feels late. Or it's not late, sorry. It's really not that early, but it feels early to me because I stayed up to like, what? 2 o'clock at night? Because I'm a night owl. Anyway, whatever. That's not important. What's important is these gravity switching mechanics are getting a little bit more tricky, I would say. And the platform you have to do is getting a little bit more tricky as well. Okay. Alright. I pressed... Something that's always annoyed me about Mario 3D movement is sometimes when you attempt to make a stop on a dime and you're standing still, Mario will not just swiftly turn as if he had some momentum and he just made an immediate turn. He will sometimes, and I have no idea why this happens, make a full 180. And that happens in a lot of the 3D Mario games, for example, Mario 64, especially DS. Mario always does that for me, and I don't know why. And it just happened right there. I tried to do a swift turnaround so I could avoid those bombs, or the cannonballs, I guess I should say. But it just didn't work out because Mario decided to do a 180-degree turn. Okay, okay, okay. Come on, come on. Ho, 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 ho. Oh my god. Oh my god. Something I think would be kind of interesting, and I'm not gonna... I might hold my tongue for a second because I'm not necessarily sure if they do it, but I doubt they do. Something interesting would be if they actually made it so that, yeah, no, they don't do it good. So I can actually talk about it. What if they, like, made it so that two platforms were going at the same time and you had to switch between platforms quickly using the gravity mechanics? I think that would have been cool. Sadly, it's not done, but that's perfectly fine. I just think it would have been a neat inclusion, so it doesn't need to be there. That level's already interesting enough as is. It brings in new mechanics, so that's fine by me. But I just think it would have been more interesting if they added something like that. I'm not going to save my game just yet, because I still have 2 more stars to do. 1 left in Dreadnought Galaxy and 1 in Matter Splatter Galaxy. The third mission of Dreadnought Galaxy is Revenge of the Topman Tribe. It's exactly how it sounds. We have another mission that is influenced by Topman. This is actually the Prankster Comet mission I did. It's not... I shouldn't say it is, because it's not. It's similar to the Prankster Comet mission I did. Luckily, that guy is alone there. So the green Topman is alone there, allowing you to easily jump on top of his head, making it so that you can get to the next section very, very quickly. For some godforsaken reason, in the speedrun comment, they added a red Topman there and made the green Topman's respawn point relatively far away from the Sling Star, which means, guess what? You had to deal with both AIs of both types of Topmen at the same time, which doesn't sound all that bad, but when you think about it, it really is, because the red Topman, the one that you don't need to actually progress in the stage, is a lot more aggressive. I mean, a lot more aggressive. And the green Topmen, their line of sight is terrible. It honestly is. So if you are trying to actually get the green Topman over to where you want it to, the red Topman will be waiting right there to actually chase after you. So if you don't want to actually hit the green Topman and move him back a little bit, you do actually have to move away from the green Topman in order to hit the red Topman away, because you can't kill him in that section, so you have to hit him away. By the way, this is what I was talking about, the star bits kind of holding it up in an interesting way, but whatever, that's not important right now. The point is, you would have to actually go away from the green Topman in order to hit the red Topman without actually hitting the green Topman, effectively pushing him away. But the green Topman's line of sight is so terrible, and when it doesn't see you, it goes back to its original position. So, if you went away to kill the red, or not kill the red Topman, like kind of get the red Topman to go away for like 2 seconds, then the green Topman would be like, oh, he's gone. And then he would go back to his position, meaning you had to lure him away all over again. And it wasn't hard per se, it was just relatively annoying, and I'm surprised no one saw that coming. Anyway, this right here is kind of an interesting use of the pull stars. This is a lot more dangerous than a lot of the things we've seen so far. I shouldn't actually say that. We've done, what is that? It was one of the Hungry Luma missions. I am sucking so much. Essentially, you have to avoid the cannonballs, but apparently you don't have to do a very good job, because I'm getting hit left and right, but I'm doing just fine. Right here, to actually get to that launch star, what you have to do is you have to grab onto the pull star. That was pretty bad. You have to grab onto the pull star and use its momentum to actually get close, and then you can shake. You'll get right into the launch star. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy. This area right here, as you can see, there are circles on the ground. That shows you exactly where these red, I don't know what to call them. It's, I guess they're lasers, where the red laser circles will stop. You can also see where they will overlap. So, that's very, very helpful. I honestly just like to long jump through all of this, because it's really, they give you a lot of life in this section, so it's really not all that difficult. And like, long jumping here, just, it's not very dangerous to long jump there. You get past the areas faster, so you really don't have to worry about a lot of the lasers. These guys I don't have to kill, I can completely ignore them. In fact, I can just long jump over this and get to the area where I'm supposed to go immediately. So, this is kind of a pointless platform. Pointless planetoid, pointless UFO? I don't know. This is the big bad Topman, the biggest kahuna of them all. So thank you. Pretty much what you have to do is okay. What you have to do is you have to lure him. Okay, fine. If you could just go away, please. Thank you. What you have to do is you have to lure him into or just hit him into the laser things. I don't know what they're called, honestly. They never give them an actual name, like a lot of Mario power-ups. Or not power-ups. What am I talking about? Jesus. Man, this is going great. Anyway, the point is, you have to hit him into the lasers. So, as long as you keep smacking him around and kind of avoid the red things. I did a pretty bad job there, but you can kill him relatively quickly. And that is that. That is the last star that I'll be getting in Dreadnought Galaxy. That is another galaxy down. With that being said, it is time to gush about one specific galaxy. My favorite galaxy in the game, despite the fact that it only has 1 star. Matter Splatter Galaxy. And that's because it's such an interesting concept. And I wish they actually used this so much more. But honestly, if they did, it'd make it feel a little less special. Let's do the one and only mission in Matter Splatter Galaxy. Watch your step. As you can see, there are little small blue balls bouncing around on the ground, though I put ground in massive quotation marks because sometimes the ground isn't there, but when the matter actually splatters onto the ground appears and gets larger, then it shrinks again. So that's a really cool concept. I know I just kind of like ran past all of it, but it's such a neat idea, and it's used in so many great ways to make the platforming just so much better, like right here. You have to wall jump along with the matter, allowing you to actually get up to this section. The matter will be moving back and forth right here, meaning you have to time when you wall jump and all that. It's just such a nice concept, and I'm such a big fan of it. And I really shouldn't be, because it's not like it hasn't been done before, but it just looks so freaking cool, to be honest. Right here, I should be able to get up. All right. Lucky. This area can be a little bit tricky, specifically with the wall jumping sections, because it's a circle, so that means some of the areas that you might be landing on won't necessarily be there immediately, I guess is the best way to say that. The circle makes some things kind of awkward, but it's really not all that bad. Right here, this is not a new mechanic, but it is essentially forcing us to move up, because if we don't move up in time, or we do that, we will fall down, and it's not good to die. I love this galaxy. One downside is this area right here. Everything before this is really fun, and I sped through it relatively fast, but if you take your time and just enjoy yourself, I think it's a really fun galaxy. This right here, though, sucks. I think the concept, the idea is fun. Spring Mario just ruins everything, though, because, God, he controls like complete and total trash. I've already whined about Spring Mario enough, but I just can't stop, because everything I'm saying about Spring Mario is true. He's just a terrible power-up, and I hate the idea of him. The controls of him suck so much. Jesus Christ, I don't like it at all. Really, this isn't that difficult. You just have to time your jumps perfectly. So it's not that bad. Okay, you also have to just deal with Spring Mario's annoying controls, which, if you stay in one spot, you usually will be able to get to the next area relatively. I shouldn't say that. That's kind of wrong. What I'm trying to say is, the area that it leads you to, if you stay there once you've actually completed the platform, if you just stand in one spot, you really won't have that bad of a time getting to the upper area. It can be a little difficult on occasion, but it's, in all honesty, not that bad. Oh my god! Like I was saying, fun galaxy, bad ending. The concept is fantastic. Spring Mario is just not good. Spring Mario just sucks as a whole. If you like him, you have bad taste. My apologies, but he controls so terribly. He's used a lot better in Galaxy 2, but Jiminy Christmas, he is really not that good in this game. I wish he was used less. I wouldn't mind if they replaced him with the red star, because oh my god, the red star is so freaking cool. Spring Mario is just trash. Underutilized Spring Mario, please, for the love of God. He's not fun at all. Alright, there we go. Just gotta stand still. There we go. Let me see if I can get that. Thank God. This right here is the last section that we're going to be going through in this galaxy. So once you stand on this, the matter will start moving. Or I guess matter's probably the best way to say that. Essentially, it's kind of like a maze. You have to take the right path, or else you'll have to do a bit more platforming. It's really not that difficult. But it is an interesting concept that the level will continue to grow as you move forward in it. Well, I guess you're forced to move forward in the level, but the level will continue to grow, and you have to take the correct paths, or else you'll have to do a bit more of a challenge. I think it's kind of a cool concept. Maybe a bit annoying at times, because you can't tell necessarily what is coming up. So you could take a wrong path, and you really have no way of choosing the correct path, or no clues of choosing the correct path. So that can be relatively annoying. Though fixing the path that you went on, or like correcting your movement, it really isn't that hard. Like right there, I went the wrong way, so I long jump. My apologies. Interruptions happen, they really do. Nothing I can do about it. Right here, I don't even have to wait for the matter. You can just long jump and grab the star. Anyway, the point is, really fun galaxy, really interesting concept. Wish it was used more. It's used at the very end and then just dropped, and you don't see it again. And it's so depressing, because it's such a cool concept, but hey, what are you gonna do? Anyway, that's our 72nd star. That galaxy is complete, and there's only one main thing left for us to do before post-game, and that is the final boss.